their crown. King from Cleveland. LeBron enters his 9th career final, scoring more than anyone in history to this point of the postseason. And yes, those are shorts. But a slew of all-stars, including two-time MVP Steph Curry, awaits as the 4th episode of this rivalry begins tonight. Welcome inside Oracle Arena alongside 3 guys with finals experience. Paul Pierce.
That's true.
Jalen Rose.
What up, Dow?
Chauncey Billups. My name's Michelle Beadle. Look, it was 4 days ago, it felt like, and it was. It looked like we were potentially heading for a brand new finals matchup. But to quote LeBron James, if you want to see somebody else in the finals, you got to beat them. Nobody did. And now we have, for the first time ever, a 4th consecutive finals matchup between the same 2 teams. And for LeBron, his 8th consecutive finals appearance, it's a feat nobody has accomplished outside of 5 Celtics players from the 50s and 60s. Rachel Nichols caught up with James to find out what this accomplishment means to him.
There's nothing better in sports than a Game 7. Oh, blocked by James! Here comes James. Count it! Goaltend and 1. Cleveland wins Game 7. LeBron James and the Cavs do it again.
I know better to ask you to put anything in historical context because you are an in-the-moment person about this stuff, but in the moment, what does it feel like to be in your 8th straight finals, 9th overall?
I don't know, I'm a loss for words, but it's a blessing to be able to be a part of the big stage. And this is the biggest stage that you can get in our sport, and that's the finals. It's the Super Bowl, it's the Stanley Cup, it's the World Series, it's the finals, and I've been a part of it for 8 straight years.
Whatever happens here in this finals, are you comfortable with what it says about you or your legacy or any of that?
Well, can I be comfortable? I'm never comfortable. I'm never comfortable. I've gotten better with understanding that conversations are going to be conversations no matter what. You know, and it's so weird in that people kind of categorize like individuality and then team, and then take away one individual and say, okay, well, if you're that good, you should be able to beat that team. You know, and I think a lot of that conversation that bothers me a little bit, but it is what it is.
Okay, Jalen, let's start with you. Let's fast forward. LeBron figures out a way to win this title this year. What would that do for his legacy?
That would catapult him officially into who's the GOAT conversation with Michael, Jeffrey Jordan. If he's able to beat these Golden State Warriors with Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson, I've gotten so tired of that conversation.
Yep.
Yet if he's able to do a Herculean effort and win this series as the biggest underdog in 30 years in the finals history, that's going to validate a lot of people's having that conversation, but he still won't pass the GOAT.
I think he passes Michael Jordan.
Stop it.
I mean, that's a big
I think
deal.
he passes Michael Jordan. I mean, listen, he's done the most with less, more than anybody in the history of the game.
That's why he made it to 8 straight finals, but don't have 6 championships and 6 finals MVPs.
Unfortunately, yeah. He's been an underdog in a lot of these finals because of the teams he's had to carry. And no other player can say that in history. Of course he's going to be the underdog when he carries a bunch of who was in 2007? Who was his best player? Mo Williams.
You know what that says?
You know what I'm saying? So if he wins this one, based on, we're talking about the Golden State Warriors, one of the greatest teams that's ever been assembled. If they win this year with LeBron, he'll get MVP. I'll have to catapult him.
Please, Mr. Big Shot, break down what you've seen from him in the playoffs. But the reason why he's been the underdog in 7 straight years, that's the problem with the East. That shows how weak that conference has been, that you can still win your conference, and once you get to the finals,
but think about this. How many times have the best player in the league been an underdog in the finals?
Get in there.
How many times?
Here's what I'm saying. You're saying he'll have the chance to beat one of the greatest teams ever, right? He's already done that, Paul. That team won 73 games.
No, but now you added KD.
He was
now you
down
added KD. You added a 4th Hall of Famer. You had a 4th Hall of Famer here. Now, they won 73
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that,
will be a Hall of Famer at the end. He'll be one of the great defenders. Klay Thompson.
I quit again.
Curry,
Hey, you know what?
And KD.
You can't keep quitting.
I've heard that, like, said by a lot of people. We're not going to put all 4 of them in the Hall of Fame.
I love Draymond. That's my guy. The Hall
Minimum
of Fame.
3. Minimum 3. Draymond has an opportunity.
Klay Thompson, I don't know. Listen, man.
What have you seen from LeBron?
That's an awesome conversation. I wish we had more time. But I want to, he's so great that we oftentimes forget what he does very quickly. But I want to take a real quick snapshot at what he's done just this postseason.
Give us the specifics.
This is Game 7, unexpected Game 7. Here's LeBron James. Now, no one man can guard him. Not one, two men can guard him. However, this guy just gets to his spot pretty easy, and he jumps up and he knocks down a game-winning bucket.
I mean,
for game time. Now he's never been more clutch in his career than he is right now. Now he's in the second round. He sweeps the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference. He's a 4th seed, LeBron James, and they earned it because they were horrible all year. But he's always thinking ahead. Got Kyle Korver in the corner. Knows they're not going to leave him. He can't go right because they will double team him. He puts that spot on the floor again. Let me get to my spot, raise up, knock it down. Again, closes out a series just being clutch. And then he deals with Paul Pierce's scrappy Celtics.
Uh-oh.
And he's very used to killing the Celtics, as we know. But we look at him right here. They're going to swing. He's evaluating the entire court. Nobody's in the paint. They got 5 guys very close to the guys that's guarding them. He knows who's guarding him. Marcus Morris, very scrappy. Going to try to deny him. So what does LeBron do? He enters the dunk contest during the Eastern Conference Finals with that dunk.
Oh, that was funky enough.
And this is what he does, what he's done this year. In his 15th year, guys, he has developed a new go-to shot. Now, Kobe had one. MJ had one. The captain, Jabbar, the underrated shot in the history of the game, the greatest shot. Now, he knows, and we all know, Paul, you did this a lot. Get to your spot.
Right shoulder.
As long as you get to your spot, it doesn't matter who's there. This is a good contest by DeMar DeRozan. But that's not even in his shot. It's not even in his picture. He can't even see that contest. LeBron James has been unbelievably special in this playoffs, and we can't forget that.
Do not tell Klay
breakdown
Thompson
from
that
the
you're
brain.
tired of a 4th Cavs Warriors final. He said, quote, the rest of the NBA has to get better. It's
4
not
Hall
our
of
fault.
Famers?
Well, it's Paul.
Wow.